You know, they say if you applaud at the end, it's out of gratitude. If you applaud in the beginning, it's out of faith. So I hope I live up to your expectations. I'm not one for standing in front of a podium, so I'm going to walk around a little bit. I like to respect time, so I'm probably not going to take 20 minutes to do what I'm going to do because I want to try to allow people to get out here as soon after 8 o'clock as possible. The first topic I have is really sort of a nuts and bolts issue, and that is the 10-minute meeting with your legislator. First of all, legislators are people too. Wow, what a revelation, okay? They are people like us. They put their pants on the same way we do, everything else in life. They just happen to be the fortunate, if you call that fortunate, few who got elected to represent us, okay? If you're able to get a meeting with them, okay, well, go prepared. Now, one of the ways you go prepared is some simple stuff. First of all, dress appropriately, all right? Now, I'm not saying that you've got to go there in your best gown or your best pinstripe suit, but go there at least in a business casual attire, okay? You see a delegate here on display. If you can dress to his level, then you're doing fine. And it's amazing, and I think Delegate Marshall will agree with me on this. You will find the whole gamut of dress there in the General Assembly members. You will find a few guys, they generally tend to dress to the nine and top notch and so forth, and then you find other guys are very casual, okay? Oftentimes, you very rarely see them in a tie. They're still our delegates and senators, okay? I hope, let's see if you agree with me on this. I would generally say the women seem to dress a little bit better than the men do overall. So I would say, generally speaking, don't go in jeans, don't go in flip-flops, okay? So dress in business attire at some level, okay? Remember, this is a business meeting that you're going in with, okay? On the other hand, you got to be comfortable, okay? You don't want to be in there in a shirt that has been starched 5 times because you think that's going to impress the guy. He's not going to know how many times it's been starched, okay? So go there comfortably, but go there in a way that's going to indicate that you have some professionalism. During that 10-minute meeting, obviously you have to be able to present your ideas, okay? Make sure that you have thought through what you're going to say. Make sure that you're going to go in and share with them what the bill is that you're discussing, including the bill number and the bill name. If you have a copy of the bill, give it to them, because a lot of times, and I think Delegate Marshall will agree with me on this also, they will ask you, well, what is the bill? Do you have a copy of it? May I see it? If you are already prepared, that elevates you just a little bit more in their eyes, okay? If you have an issue brief that we are working on and will be providing to you, if you have an issue brief, it would be good to hand that to them. An issue brief is basically a summary of the concerns and the challenges that you have with a bill and a solution. 3 major sections, okay? It has to be 1 page. It's best if it's bullet pointed. Brief sentences. A lot of times, senators and delegates will take those bills and they will look at them on the spot while you're sitting there with them. And they're listening to you talk, but they're reading that bill. They have very limited time. Let me ask the audience a question here. Does anybody know what the average number of bills the General Assembly has been addressing over the past 10 years? I heard a number back there, which is actually pretty close. 3,000. Our General Assembly is, to me, the best example of Jeffersonian government. Less government is more. Our General Assembly is in session 45 days in odd years and 60 days in even years. The only reason it's 15 days longer to even years is because that's when they address the full new budget. 3,000 bills. And power went out on the other one. Where was I? 3,000 bills. Yes, 3,000 bills. So when you come in prepared for that 10-minute meeting with a bill, with an issue brief, it helps the delegate or the senator to understand what you're trying to achieve there, okay? A few other little things when you go in there, and if you're not good at this, practice it beforehand. Make sure your handshake is good and firm. Not a bone breaker, and not the wimpy one, the fish that people hate, okay, but a comfortable one. Make sure that you've taken care of your breath and your body odor, okay? Make sure that you've gone to the bathroom before you go in there, and comb your hair, okay? I know these sound like simple things, but it makes all the difference doing these little things to prepare for a meeting, okay? Let me move on to the next topic here so we can get out of here in time, and that is live or die in committee. On the General Assembly website, if you poke around a little bit, you will come to a page that is titled, How Bills Become Laws. That sounds friendly, sounds helpful. I'd like to know how a bill becomes law. And it's written in bullet point form. I have a copy here. You can also get it off of the website. Bullet point form. I like that. A delegate or senator has an idea for a bill, usually from a constituent. He or she presents, bullet number 2. He or she presents the idea to the Division of Legislative Services and requests that it be drafted into a bill. The bill is assigned by the patron, introduced, and printed. Bullet 3. The bill is referred to an appropriate committee. The members of the committee consider the bill and decide what action to take. This is when the public may speak. Bullet number 4, first reading, explains that. Second reading, third reading, and it goes on down to the rest of the page. Now, a casual reading of this would make you think that, oh, the committee process, it's only 2 lines on here, must not be that important. That's where bills live or die. That is where it is most important to have your impact. Okay? For those of you that have just gotten involved in this whole process of understanding our government over the past year, real quick civics lesson, when a bill, an idea is put into a bill form and presented via our legislators, delegates and senators, the whole Senate, the whole House of Delegates do not consider each and every bill. They divide the bills amongst various committees within each house. There's the Committee on Transportation, the Committee of Education, Health, Welfare, and Institutions, Militia, Courts of Justice, numerous committees in both the House and the Senate. And they divide the bills, and the bills are assigned to those various committees. In the House, generally, committees have 22 members. In the Senate, committees generally have 15 members. In order for a bill to make it to the full House or to the full Senate, it must first go through these committees. When a bill gets to a committee, the chairman of the committee may decide that, you know, this is a rather thorny issue. We're going to have to send it to the subcommittee. Okay? So there's this whole process within the committee structure. And I want to share a little story with you that happened to me as a lobbyist and share with you the importance of committees and